You are listening to KSG Podcast. This is a short, crisp, concise, exam-oriented, edited editorial for civil services aspirants. In this podcast, we are going to talk about scientists engineering mosquitoes. Source for the content is the Indian Express. Scientists have genetically modified mosquitoes to slow the growth of malaria-causing parasites in their guts, an advancement that can help prevent transmission of the disease to humans. The disease is transmitted between people through a female mosquito after it bites someone infected with the malaria parasite. The parasite develops into its next stage in mosquito's gut and travels to its salivary glands, ready to infect the next person it bites. Now the mosquitoes have been engineered to produce compounds that slow the growth of malaria-causing parasites. Though only around 10% of mosquitoes live long enough for the infectious parasite to develop, malaria remains one of the most devastating diseases globally, putting at risk about half of the world's population. In 2021, it infected 241 million people and killed 627,000 people. Now, talking about the research, researchers from the Institute for Diseases Modeling at the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation developed a model to assess the impact of such modifications and found it could be effective even where transmission is high. While the technique described in a paper published in Science Advances journal has been shown to dramatically reduce the possibility of malaria spreading in a lab setting, if proven in the real world, it could offer a powerful new tool to help eliminate malaria. Researchers from the Transmission Zero team at Imperial College London genetically modified the main malaria-carrying species of mosquito in sub-Saharan Africa, Anopheles gambae, such that the mosquito produced antimicrobial peptides in its gut when it had a blood meal. Now, how does this work? The peptides impair the malarial parasite's development and also cause the mosquitoes to have a shorter lifespan. The co-first author of the study, Tibebu Haptewold, said new tools are increasingly needed as mosquitoes develop resistance to insecticides and treatments. To prevent malaria spread via genetic modification, the change needs to be spread from lab-bred mosquitoes to wild ones. The innovation is so designed that it can be coupled with existing gene-drive technology. Co-lead author of the study, Professor George Christophyde, said, and I quote him here, "Gene drive is one such powerful weapon that in combination with drugs, vaccines and mosquito control can help stop the spread of malaria and save human lives," unquote. Gene drive would cause the anti-parasite genetic modification to be preferentially inherited, making it spread more widely among any natural populations. Now, talking about the applicability, it would, however, require extremely careful planning to minimize risks before any field trials. The Transmission Zero team is, therefore, creating two separate but compatible strains of modified mosquitoes, one with the anti-parasite modification and one with the gene drive. They can then test the anti-parasite modification on its own first, adding in the gene drive once it has been shown to be effective. With partners in Tanzania, the team set up a facility to conduct some first tests. They are also risk assessing potential releases of modified mosquitoes and taking into account potential hazards, but are hopeful that their intervention can help eradicate malaria. That's it for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening. To join KSG India courses and to crack the IAS exam, visit ksgindia.com. You can also get a PDF of this podcast on ksgindia.com.